it appears that you've been very strategic about the decisions that you have made, from playing football to the selection of your college. And I wanted you to talk about, you were recruited by a number of higher institutions, but you selected Stanford. Why Stanford? And how did that play into your strategic map of your life?
I was recruited, I was heavily recruited as one of the top recruits in the state of Texas playing football, so I was recruited by every college in the country. I'd have guys like, Lou Holtz and Coach Osborne from, Nebraska, and the guy from the Nittany Lions, Penn State. All these guys came to my school, recruited me, and I got over 30,000 college letters, and I ended up taking trips to Michigan, UCLA, Notre Dame, Stanford, Syracuse. And at the end of the day, I realized that Stanford gave me the best opportunity to be successful, even if football didn't work out. Right? So you go to Stanford, the people that you're around, the education that you're getting, the networking opportunities that you have would put me in position, to one day be an entrepreneur and own my own business, or to, be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, or go into politics, maybe be president of the United States. I just felt like Stanford gave me the position, gave me the best opportunity, best platform to get the education that I needed in order to open up every opportunity for me that was in life.
I like the word that you use, networking.
Right.
Sometimes we underestimate the power of networking.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that, because I can tell that you have the grasp of it, and I'm very passionate about that word, because especially for our young people, we teach them a lot, but we don't teach them the power of networking. Spend a little time on just what that looks like, the successes of it, and how do you do it successfully.
Right. I think most successful people will tell you that they didn't get to where they are alone. And so networking are basically the group and team of people that you are around and that you've made relationships with that have hopefully helped you achieve the things you've achieved. And I'll say this, my mom used to tell me this growing up, that you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. And so whoever you're spending time with, you're the average of those 5 people. My grandmother used to say, if you sleep with dogs, you wake up with fleas. And there's a biblical proverb that says, the companion of wise men grows wise, but a companion of fools is destroyed. But they all make the same point, which is it's important to people that you surround yourself with. And so if you want, to be in real estate, you have to find people who've done more in real estate than you've done. And then you put yourself around them, and then they will, that rising tide will lift your boat. And so, being at Stanford, I had a college roommate whose father had done real estate development. And when I stopped playing the NFL, he called me up. We decided to start a West Coast office of what his dad was doing, which is building shopping centers across the country. From there, we used our networking and our relationships to talk to banks, to find out what kind of financing options we would have, assuming that we found the right land and we could build a building at a certain cost. And we went through the Stanford network, to calling people, hey, listen, we're young Stanford guys. We've got a piece of land for X amount. It's going to cost this much to build this building. And they would have they would entertain a meeting with us simply because we were Stanford guys and we were within that Stanford network.
Right.
When we wanted to go find tenants to develop for, Walgreens, Walmart, we went through our Stanford network to talk to people. Hey, listen, do you know anybody that has a relationship with Walgreens? And so, there were 6 or 7 different Stanford guys who were doing Walgreens development. So we called those guys up, and they were able to make a phone call for us. And going in into a meeting with Walgreens based upon a recommendation of someone they already had a relationship with and familiarity with, that gives you a leg up outside of making a cold call. So networking for me created opportunities in the financing world, created opportunities in just working with tenant relationships, created opportunities even in just starting the business that I started. It all comes back to the people that you are surrounding yourself with and having some understanding of a strategic plan. You just can't. You have to know where you want to go.
Right. Start with the end in mind.
A wise man knows how to draw water from the deepest well. Right. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times in mentor-mentee relationships, we think the mentor should just download everything that they have to you. That's not the case. What I've learned is that you have to learn to ask the right questions that will strategically get you to the next level to where you need to go. Right? My partner's father knows everything. He can't possibly tell us everything about real estate development, but we need to understand where we are and then ask him the right questions so that we can take the next step and it's not his responsibility to figure out where we are and download to us. So that's critical. Understanding how to ask the right questions. I would also say understanding where resources overlap with opportunities. You know, I went to Stanford. I had a roommate that whose father was in real estate development. So I would say your resources are how much money you have, what you know, what are your network systems look like, what is your skill set, your human capital, how have you developed, what are the things that you know. Those are kind of your resources. And then your opportunities. Can you get involved in real estate development? Why? Because within my networking system someone is doing that, and that's where I have an interest. What other opportunities are? Probably I could have gone back to law school or maybe business school. Maybe I could have started a startup tech company because I was in the Silicon Valley and at Stanford, that area. A lot of people would transition out, you know, doing startup companies. A couple of my friends started it.If. And so where do your opportunities overlap with your resources? And where they overlap, that's where you find the entrepreneurial opportunity. And so people who have vision to see those things. Some people just say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Well,
and
do those things.
Them, right?
They don't align, but they fit with what your opportunities and what your resources are, with your resources, with your skill set, and with the things that you have proximity to. And then you start saying, okay, 4 or 5 things are in that overlap. Now, how do I start creating a business plan, and how do I create an understanding of how to put together a balance sheet and an operating statement to see if there's profitability aligned with each one of these 4 or 5 opportunities.
Which will always get you to your end goal, which is success.
Yeah, think big, act small. That's my thing. So resourcing that and aligning that.